Hey guys, how's it going? I know it's been just a little while since we've been back in school, and that's mostly because of everything that's going on in the world right now. Everybody's staying home, hopefully staying safe with all the pandemic that's going on. But I've decided to take this time and this opportunity for us being, at our homes in a way to talk on a few topics that are really important and I feel should be talked about that, as educators and students and musicians, we don't get to talk about and, work on usually on a daily basis. One of the first topics that I really wanted to talk on, and I'm going to be talking on today, is breathing. The importance of breathing, correct breathing. What are we doing right? What are we doing wrong? How to know what we're doing right or wrong. And breathing is really important, guys. The first thing that I can say why breathing is important is because it's your, it's where your sound comes from. Everything from the fundamental sound or the tone on the instrument all the way through the dynamic to anything you do is affected by breathing. So what you want to do is make sure you're a having a good breath, b have good breath support, and c you want to make sure that you are breathing as efficiently as possible to make sure that everything's going well and you're not going to be out of breath. So the first thing that you want to make sure of is that you're breathing in correctly. When you're sitting out in the car or you're walking around in a store, if you're walking around outside, if you're playing video games, everything like that, your breath normally goes to your chest. So it's more like it's right there. You can't get a lot of air in, and you can really see if I go through and you only use my chest to take a deep breath, it's gonna be like it's very shallow. I don't feel like I'm getting a lot of air in at all. So as a musician, though, you have to make sure that all your air goes all the way down through the chest into your stomach, into your abdomen, your belly. A good way to make sure that you are doing this correctly is to put a hand on your stomach. And it's going to feel a little weird. I know that a lot of people want to make sure they have really, really, really tight waists and everything. Musicians don't care. We just want to sound great. So you take your hand, put it on your belly, about right here, right about your belly button, and you're going to make sure that when you breathe, that instead of all the air coming into this part of your chest, you want to make your abdomen expand. So when you breathe in and breathe out, your hand's going to move. It's going to feel a little bit like you're Santa Claus or something like that, It feel a little bit weird at first, but that's what you're really shooting for. So when you're breathing in, you have that really good expansion, and then breathe out. And that's really, really going to come into play with your abs. And the cool thing about breathing is it's all natural. So when you're breathing in, a lot of people talk about your diaphragm, of how you need to make sure that that is what you're controlling. That's not the case at all. Your diaphragm is a muscle that you have no control over. When you're breathing in, you have to make sure that all your abdomen and your abs, everybody has them, they are released and they're relaxed. So, and then when you're breathing out, subconsciously your body's like, oh, I need to get rid of this air. So your abdomen, your abs are going to, contract. That's going to help push air out. And your internal and external intercostals are going to help with the breathing in and breathing out process. Another thing you need to be careful of, though, are your shoulders. Right here. This is one common mistake. So, these muscles right here. Has anybody ever, had your friend come up beside you or behind you and start massaging? It feels really, really good. That's because these muscles right here, the trapezius muscles, are very, very tense muscles. These muscles are one of the most overworked muscles in our body, especially for musicians. So if you're a trumpet player and you're holding your instrument here, or a saxophone player, or a clarinet player, or a piccolo player, or a baritone player, or a tuba player, all of that tension is going to be going into your neck. So if you're breathing in and your shoulders are going, that's going to add a lot of extra tension, and you're not going to be able to play as long. After you get done, you're going to be super tired. And one way to make sure that doesn't happen is, we have our hand on our belly, making sure it's going in and out. But we want to make sure that our shoulders, put your hand up on your shoulder. You want to make sure that it's not going up and down when you're breathing. Let's try that real quick. So you have your hand on your shoulder and your hand on your belly. And at the same time, your shoulder should move and your belly should extend. Let's do it real quick. Get ready? And breathe in. And breathe out. Great job. Just a couple more times. Breathe in. And breathe out. Great. So another great thing about making sure that we are doing this properly is, your abdomen is, the powerhouse for your tone. It's a powerhouse for your sound. So if you're sitting there, if you're, marching band, you're right on the 50-yard line, it's horns to the box, and you're playing as loud as you can, but you're not using your abdomen, you're not getting any sound. So a way to work on this is, breathing in and breathing out forcefully when you do it. And what I like to do is I breathe in for 3 counts, and on beat 4, I push all the air out at once. So we'll do that a couple times. This is how it works. So it's like, breathe in. You get rid of all the air as fast as you can. Let's do it real quick. Ready? And breathe in with me. Breathe in for 3, and out all your air out on 4. Ready? And breathe in. Great job! Man, I felt all that gust coming up here. Here we go. Let's do it a couple more times. Ready? Breathe in. And see, not only does that give you all your extra power to have that excess air, but your abdomen really helps you on those slow lyrical passages, the ones where you have to play piano or pianissimo, but you have to have, just as much air pressure and, just as much intenseness to play those passages as you do your forte and fortissimo sections. So really working on that is going to help you all around as a musician. A couple other exercises that I like to do every day to work on my breathing, I like to do as soon as I wake up. I get out of bed, and you don't even have to have your instrument or anything for the first 2 exercises. The first thing I like to do to wake up is resistance air training or resistance breathing techniques. And this is, so, if you wake up and you grab your instrument, the first thing you're going to think of is, I'm going to breathe in as much as I can and try to play as long as I can because long tones are the best thing ever. And while long tones are really, really good, breathing in that much as soon as you wake up is not good. You want to warm up these muscles just as much as you warm up these muscles to go work out or play a sport or anything like that. So what I do is I take my hand and you cover your mouth like this. Don't take this part of your hand and cover your nose and your mouth at the same time, and make sure that you don't completely close it off. And don't close it off. Because if you close it off, you can't breathe. All you're wanting is a little bit of resistance. That way you can just get a little bit of that, and then a little bit of resistance as you breathe out. And what you want to do, you want to breathe in and breathe out. No stopping in between. But you don't, as soon as you feel tenseness or any type of tension in your abdomen, your stomach, don't breathe in anymore. This is only working on waking all these muscles up. So let's do it a couple times. So breathe in. Good. And do it a couple more times. And I usually do that around 10 times. And you'll really start to notice. The first time you do it, you're not going to get a lot of air in. Second time, a little bit more. Third time, a little bit more. And by the time you get to that 10th time, you're going to really feel that your lungs are opened up. Now, the second exercise I like to do is about the same, but you don't use any resistance. You're just going to breathe normally. But when you breathe in, you want to get a good deep breath, and you want to sustain it. Sustain it for, just a couple beats or a couple seconds, and then exhale. And you want to do it for about 10 times as well. So it'll go like this. Do it with me. And here we go. And breathe in. You're going to hold it. You're still holding it. Keep on holding. And exhale. We'll do it a couple more times. Ready? Breathe in. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. And now exhale. Continuing to remember, keep your hand on your belly, hand on your shoulders. Make sure that your shoulders aren't rising and your belly is extending. Ready? Hold it. And exhale. Great job. And that's going to piggyback off of the resistance training. That's going to make sure everything is continuing to expand your lung capacity. It's going to make it, where you're sustaining it, it's going to help it because, sometimes holding your breath does help, but it does not help at the same time. Now, the third exercise that I like to do every day is on the instrument. Now, I am doing it on the trumpet today because that's my primary instrument, but you can do this on any wind instrument. I have a lot of vocal friends who sometimes do exercises like this to warm up. The thing is, you want to kind of mix the first 2 exercises. You want to breathe in and out like on the first 2, but you won't be doing resistance. But you don't want to have any sustain as soon as you breathe in. You want to breathe in and immediately start breathing out. Now, brass players, when you're, buzzing into the mouthpiece, make sure that your lips are slightly apart. You don't want them completely together, and you want to make sure not to tongue the note to start it. Same thing with woodwinds. I know that you can't really keep your lips apart because you have the mouthpiece. Make sure you are not tonguing or articulating to start the note. These are going to be called breath attacks, and we're going to do long tones with them. So it's going to be about like this. You breathe in, pulling it out. I just did a little bit shorter just to show you. As soon as you run out of air, just don't stop it. Don't clamp it off. Just let the air gradually diminish. Now, you want to do that for as long as you can hold the note out. I usually start on a concert F or a G for trumpet, and then I will each note go down a half step, and then go down another half step, and keep going until I'm on the lowest possible note I can hit on this trumpet. And we'll do that a couple times together just so you can get a feel of how it works, and then you could try. Ready? Here we go. So starting on concert F. Fade. Take a couple seconds breather. You don't want to just keep going through. It'll make you pass out. Another thing to keep in mind before we go on to the next one is this isn't about playing as loud as you can. It's better to play these soft because this is first thing in the morning. Just think you don't want to wake everybody up. Your dog might start howling. Mine does. But we're going to do a couple more. Here we go. Breathe in. Diminish. Good job. One more time, and then we'll quit. Good. And then you just keep, like I said, go all the way down to the bottom of your range as far as you can go. And one thing, not only does this help with your breathing, with your tone, it's going to help you center your tone. A good thing to do is to, if you have your phone, sit up on a stand or on your bed with you, get out a tuner app. I use Tonal Energy Tuner. It's about $3 on the App Store, I think, but there are plenty of free ones out there. Make sure that when you're doing these long tones to center each of those pitches and get it, find the tendencies on your instrument. Find what's sharp, what's flat, and it's going to kill, multiple things, multiple birds with one stone. And just do this every day. It's going to help you with your tone. It's going to help you with your breath support. It's an all-around good daily warm-up routine to do. Now, if there's any other questions, about breathing that you all might have, or any other topics you would like me to talk about, just feel free to message me, email me, get in contact with me, and I would be more than happy to help you out further. And I thank you all for coming today, guys, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again.